right. Chapter 9. Well, Chapter 8 first, but it's kind of quick. It's just about changing your perspective. And you're shifting your perspective from a self-centered one to one that is more kind of outside of yourself, that allows you to see yourself within relationship with others differently, and in relationship with your past, present, and future, and your abilities differently. So it just continues to talk about the importance of trying to get out of the self-centered mindset, which leads to us being less tolerant of other people because we expect perfection, because it's all about us and what we want and what we desire. So that's Chapter 8. Chapter 9 is stepping outside of yourself to get a hold of yourself, and this is pretty much all about compassion and service, like true compassion. And it's kind of a wake up to anyone who thinks that they actually do good for others, because it's kind of like, giving $10 or $20 or $100 to like a homeless person isn't really, like, we typically do that just to lift our own selves up. It's kind of a selfish thing, like, oh, here, like, this is an easy thing at a stoplight where I feel good about myself for helping. Now I help other people, kind of thing. But like, the ultimate test of compassion and service is if you help someone with no ability to help you back, to give anything back. So that's like true compassion and service, essentially. And this for me is like, it's right when it kind of upsets you a little bit, because like I definitely try to do, like, especially with Speak Your Mind, I try to do a lot of good, but also, reading this chapter makes me realize, like, oh, like, it makes me see where I am actually being selfish. And it's like, go out in the real world and help someone directly who isn't pleasant to be around and doesn't have the ability to help you back. Like, that is service. That is compassion, the ultimate compassion. So just bring some awareness to where we're actually still being selfish and self-serving in trying to be compassionate and serving others. And I'll be the first to admit every time that, like, I don't know, I'm pretty selfish. Like, I think we're all naturally pretty selfish as humans. And it takes a lot of energy over a long period of time to get out of your own ego. The same applies to really learning how to serve. I'm learning more and more about service and how good it is, and how it's the highest form of your expression of appreciation for what this life is, for what we have. But defining it is good, and it's definitely encouraging me to lean in. So a little bit of a trigger warning maybe for some, kind of was for me, but good stuff. Okay, this has actually been really fun because this allows me to find my people, fellow nerds, and I've also gotten some good book recommendations. So I have like 2 more books on deck already, but and like 10 more sitting on the table in front of me. So I have plenty, but I'm excited that people are recommending other books for me to do this with, because it seems to be helpful. But Chapter 10 is about programming your narratives with affirmations. So obviously the last few chapters have been about becoming aware of your narratives and then doing something about it, which for me is crucial because I feel negative emotions, and it's like, okay, I'm aware, but now what do I do about it? And that's kind of what I've been looking for, is a way to manage my mental health during difficult, times where I'm feeling afflictive emotions. So this seems to be a pretty good solution for that. And I know a lot of you probably are familiar with affirmations, but I am too, and I have a bunch of them that I repeat every morning already. But this chapter has definitely led to an increased awareness, or kind of like being more effective with affirmations and getting into more of the emotional state of it, which makes them more powerful. Okay, so the idea is, obviously we typically say a lot of negative things to ourselves just as like habits, like you stub your toe and you call yourself an idiot, that kind of stuff. And a lot of those statements are negative, and we hear that when we say that to ourselves. So obviously it's important to say positive things to ourselves. And affirmations are a good way to start reprogramming your narratives that are negative and limiting. So affirmations are a way for you to override your current mental operating system. And the whole key is not just saying the words, but getting into the actual emotional state of what you're trying to get to. And the more, it can feel kind of robotic and weird. And I don't know, like I started judging myself when I first did affirmations. Like I felt kind of lame, but that was obviously a self-judgmental kind of habit as well. But the more that you get in the habit of saying, the positive things that you want for yourself, the more that you kind of like hitch a ride onto that positive upward spiral instead of getting stuck in the negative downward spiral from automatic negative habits based in negative narratives. So that was a good one for me, because I looked at like the affirmations I have, and they're kind of just dry. It's like I do this, I am that. But like instilling more depth and emotion into it, I think is good. Feels really good for me. So hopefully that's helpful. We got, I think 4 or 5 chapters left. It's been a good book so far, so hope you are enjoying it.